Martell. This wasn't just another interview, it was years of pain, love, and disappointment spilling out in one unfiltered moment. You could see it on her face before she even spoke. This was the kind of heartbreak that doesn't come from strangers online, but from a mom who's watched her son throw away his future while still pretending everything's fine. Marlene's voice never shook. And she didn't raise it, but every word carried weight. She spoke about Melody not like an extorter-in-law, but like the daughter she wished was still in the family. Moms know when someone brings light into their child's life, and that was Melody. She kept the peace, handled the pressure, and made Martell look steady even when he wasn't. Marlene saw it firsthand, Melody smiling through pain, taking disrespect, and still protecting the family's name. But no matter how much grace Melody showed, she couldn't fix what Martell kept doing. Now, Marlene is left watching her son repeat the same self-destructive choices with a woman she says brings nothing but chaos. Arion isn't just the other woman. It's Marlene. She represents every wrong turn Martell made when he had a clear path in front of him. Marlene didn't insult her by name, but the energy shifted every time she mentioned her. And then came the line that stopped people cold. It was an incident. That's how she described Martell's relationship with Arion. Not a phase, but an incident. That word carried more grief than shade. It was the voice of a mother who's prayed for clarity, only to realize the truth had been there all along. Marlene's not angry at Arion herself. She's angry at what she represents. A life that pulled Martell away from his purpose, his family, and his legacy. She's watched him lose respect, stability, and direction. And now he's trying to justify why, after more than a decade, Arion still isn't his wife. Why he's talking about moving her into an investment property as if it's progress, when it's really just another excuse to avoid commitment. Marlene wasn't buying it. You could see it all over her face. The whole conversation felt like watching a slow-motion crash, Martell spinning excuses. Marlene biting back the "I told you so" she's been holding for years. And behind it all, the ghost of Melody lingered. Not literally, but in spirit. The memories of holidays, laughter, and business plans had all been replaced with court documents, silence, and tension. Martell once had stability when Melody was by his side. She wasn't just his wife, she was his balance, the planner, the one who mapped out the long-term vision for their family. With her, there was progress and direction. Now he's struggling to co-parent, juggling school supplies, court dates, and a relationship that leads nowhere. Marlene knows loyalty without growth is worthless. Martell calls it love, but she sees it as wasted years. And then there's Maverick, the child caught in the middle. Marlene loves her grandson dearly, but she can't ignore the pain tied to his presence. Is a reminder of the moment everything changed, when the family picture shattered. It's not his fault, but he symbolizes the chain of choices that unraveled everything. Meanwhile, Melody is thriving. She's signing deals, giving interviews, and glowing with quiet power. She doesn't need to brag because her success speaks louder than words. Marlene doesn't even have to compare the two women. The difference is obvious. One brings peace, the other brings chaos. And what breaks her heart is that Martell still refuses to see it. The real pain for Marlene isn't just about the cheating. It's that Martell hasn't learned anything from the fallout. The court battles, the financial hits, the broken reputation, none of it has opened his eyes. He's still spinning stories, hoping things will somehow fix themselves. But Marlene knows better. Life doesn't reward indecision. It punishes it. She's tired now, tired of cleaning up his messes, tired of nodding through choices she doesn't respect, tired of pretending dysfunction is loyalty. She doesn't hate Arion, but every time she sees her, she sees the cost. And every time Martell talks in circles, she hears wasted potential. For Marlene, it's no longer about who's right. It's no longer about who's left. She didn't raise her son to settle for less. She remembers the ambitious boy he once was, not the man clinging to chaos. She remembers a house filled with love and purpose, not silence broken by courtroom hearings. Now, when she looks at Martell, she sees a man trying to rewrite his story without turning the page. He keeps Arion around like a bookmark in a chapter that should have ended years ago. And what hurts more is how public it all is. Martell is busy reacting to gossip while Melody is building a legacy. She's proving that real strength doesn't come from noise, but from growth and success. Marlene wishes her son could see that he could recognize what true power looks like, not in drama, but in grace, at the end of the day. Marlene still loves him, she always will, but she's done clapping for dysfunction, done cushioning his falls. Martell still has time to turn his life around, but every choice he makes now will decide whether he rises back into purpose or keeps spiraling. Marlene has spoken her truth. The rest is up to him.